The Ryugyong Hotel. In 1987, the construction of the Ryugyong Hotel began. This pyramid-shaped skyscraper was to be 1,000 feet tall and houses an excess of 3,000 people, as well as 5 revolving restaurants providing panoramic views upon Pyongyang, the North Korean capital. In 1992, the Ryugyong reached its intended height. However, it stands as an abandoned concrete skeleton to this day. The hotel has had an exterior as well as LED lights in recent years, in an attempt to give the hotel a less daunting and oppressive appearance. What caused the Ryugyong to be built? Ever since both Koreas became independent nations, they were fierce rivals, and during the Cold War, South Korea was excelling as a nation. A year prior to the commencement of construction of the Ryugyong, a South Korean firm had finished building at the time the tallest hotel in the world in Singapore, called the Westin Stamford, motivating Kim Il-sung, the leader of Korea at the time, to attempt to beat their record. As well as having built the world's tallest hotel, South Korea was also set to host the 1988 Olympics, giving Kim Il-sung the very original idea to host the 1989 World Festival of Youth and Students, which is basically a socialist version of the Olympics. The Ryugyong was intended to be built before the festival as an impressive hotel for the 22,000 young people coming from the 177 countries. The collapse of the socialist utopia. The Korean peninsula is unfairly divided. Although North Korea gets to border their ally China, making trading easy, they had poor soil and land, while South Korea got the good agricultural land, meaning that North Korea was reliant on their allies for food and other natural resources that couldn't be produced in North Korea. During the 1980s, Kim Il-sung feared conflict from their two supporting allies, the USSR and China. To avoid falling alongside one of their allies, Kim Il-sung invented a new political ideology called Juche, which is referred to as Kim Il-sung's original brilliant and revolutionary contribution to national and international thought. It essentially meant that North Korea would strive to be self-sufficient and less reliant on their allies. In the mid-1980s, Kim Il-sung ordered his people to deforest all the land and turn it into agricultural land, which contributed significantly to erosion and overfarming of the land. Ironically, Juche actually worked due to a fertilizer being sent by the USSR. When the USSR collapsed, North Korea was hanging by a thread. Without the financial aid of the USSR, the Ryugyong had driven North Korea nearly broke. It's important to note that in this communist society, the country's wealth is everyone's wealth. And now that the USSR no longer existed, North Korea only had one country that they didn't have to use their wealth to trade with. Alongside the impending financial crisis, the ticking time bomb, also known as Juche, was about to go off. The North Korean Famine, or the Arduous March. In 1994, as Kim Il-sung's successor Kim Jong-il was coming into power, the country had a 4-year-long famine, due to the overfarming of the land and the lack of agricultural support from the USSR. During this time, the government adopted the new slogan, "Let's eat only 2 meals a day." During this extremely dark period for North Korea, an estimated 240,000 to 3.5 million people died of starvation or malnutrition-related diseases. As people starved in the streets, the Ryugyong stood tall as an ugly reminder that the Korean people had shot themselves in the foot with the stupid ambition of Kim Il-sung. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-il had exotic food exported all over the world to keep him well fed. Kim Jong-il's behavior at this time is the ultimate flaw with communism, humanity. We cannot exist in a perfect system if we ourselves are not perfect. That is not to excuse the disgusting behavior of Kim Jong-il. The Ryugyong today. Today, the Ryugyong holds the world record for the world's largest abandoned building. The hotel is mainly used to display propaganda on the LED screens around the Ryugyong. One day, it may open up and provide a much-needed economic boom for the North Korean people. However, until that day, it stands as a symbol of oppression and death. Congratulations, Kim Il-sung, you've immortalized yourself.